Welcome, both longtime Sagittarius souls and the newly curious, to Zodiac Talks Tarot, a space where we don't just read cards, we decode the cosmic dance of your heart, your mind, and yes, your beautifully complicated love life. If you came here expecting a quick fortune cookie reading, well, surprise. Around here, we dig a little deeper. Because Sagittarius, you're not just another zodiac sign, you're a truth seeker, a freedom lover, and sometimes, let's admit it, a master escape artist when life feels too heavy. That's exactly why this reading isn't just about predicting what's coming, but about helping you see how the cosmic currents mirror your internal battles, the ones you bravely fight and the ones you secretly avoid. And yes, this message reaches you whether your Sagittarius shows up in your Sun, Moon, Venus, or Ascendant. Now, let's talk about that load you've been carrying lately. According to the cards, and let's be honest, according to your exhausted expression, you've been holding up a three-ring circus all by yourself. Work pressures, family expectations, love entanglements, it's like you've been cast as the entire cast and crew of your own personal drama. The Ten of Swords shows you've hit that point where even your patience, famously stretched, is fraying. Enter the Three of Cups and Temperance, your universal permission slip to stop, rest, and maybe even have some actual fun without feeling guilty. And no, Sagittarius, resting does not mean you've given up. Think of it as scheduled soul maintenance. Even the chosen ones, yes, you included, need to avoid burning out before the universe finishes its grand plan for you. And speaking of plans, this is the year of triumph 2025. If you're waiting for someone else to hand you happiness on a silver platter, you're going to be hungry for a long time. The universe isn't in the business of takeout orders. Your joy? That's your job. Own it, create it, protect it. Because as a seasoned researcher of zodiac wisdom, psychology, and a humble student of Buddhist insight, I can tell you, the only thing standing between you and the peace you seek is the belief that you have to earn it through suffering. Newsflash, Sagittarius, you don't. You just have to claim it, preferably before you run off on your next spontaneous adventure. Let me tell you something, Sagittarius, and I say this as someone who has spent decades knee-deep in the study of astrology, psychology, and a fair amount of Buddhist wisdom. You're not as stuck as you think you are. The cards don't lie. The Hanged Man, the Two of Swords, and the Fool all came up like a cosmic intervention, and let me break it down for you in plain English. You've been spinning your wheels in some kind of mental hamster cage, overthinking, overanalyzing, and somehow convincing yourself that standing still is the safest move. You're waiting for the universe to swoop in and untangle your life like some celestial customer service rep. Newsflash, the universe doesn't do house calls. The Buddha said suffering is optional once you learn to let go, and honestly, Sagittarius, clinging to your worries like a badge of honor isn't exactly your best look. The Fool, that wild-hearted adventurer of the tarot, reminds us that faith isn't about being naive. It's about being brave enough to take a step before the path appears. You're not trapped. The only thing keeping you stuck is the story you keep telling yourself about why you can't move. And trust me, I've heard them all. Now, let's talk about that scarcity mindset you've been flirting with. The Five of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups rolled in like two party crashers, reminding you how easy it is for even a free spirit like you to fall into fear. Fear of rejection, fear of going broke, fear of making the wrong choice. Classic Sagittarius trap, really. The funny thing? You're standing in a hallway of open doors and acting like you're locked in a closet. Sometimes, it's not about searching for the right door. It's about realizing you've been holding the key in your hand the whole time. And while we're at it, a little word of caution, not every opportunity that comes your way is gold. Some are just snake oil wrapped in glitter. Sagittarius, you've got a brilliant gut instinct, use it. You're the chosen ones of your own story, but even heroes need to watch for smooth talkers selling magic beans. Let's have a heart-to-heart, Sagittarius. When it comes to control, who's holding on and who's being held hostage, it's not always as clear-cut as we like to believe. Sometimes you're the one gripping so tight that even a Buddhist monk would say, "Hey, maybe ease up a bit." Other times, it's you getting emotionally cornered by someone else's guilt trips, expectations, or manipulations. Either way, it's time for a cosmic jailbreak. And no, I'm not talking about packing your bags and joining a traveling circus, unless, of course, that's your thing. I'm talking about freeing your energy from power dynamics that leave you drained, bitter, or secretly plotting revenge in the shower. Remember this golden Sagittarius rule: a tug-of-war is only fun when both sides are actually playing. If you're the only one tugging, congrats, you're not in a game, you're in a trap. Now, let's talk love, the sweet, the sour, and the straight-up seriously moments. It looks like someone's heading your way with big gestures, think gifts, sweet words, maybe even throwing around phrases like "move in with me" as casually as ordering takeout. But hold your horses, Sagittarius. Because right behind this charming entrance might be the usual suspects: meddling friends, over-involved family members, or exes who crawl out of the woodwork like it's a holiday reunion special. And because you're Sagittarius, natural human lie detector, the truth is going to surface faster than your favorite conspiracy theory video on a late-night scroll. This is 2025, the year of triumph, and trust me, the chosen ones like you don't have time for half-truths, mixed signals, or people who play hide-and-seek with honesty. If love's knocking, make sure it's bringing the full story, not just a pretty package with drama stuffed inside. Alright, Sagittarius, let's have a real talk, the kind of talk you'd get from that friend who's read too many psychology books, knows a thing or two about the Zodiac, and has chanted in a few Buddhist temples for good measure. When it comes to love and emotional attachments, the time has come to snip those toxic cords like you're wielding Archangel Michael's celestial sword. Those immature lovers, manipulative connections, and energy vampires. You're officially done. Game over. This isn't some cosmic soap opera where you're stuck playing the role of the long-suffering hero. You've got spiritual bodyguards, and trust me, they're not the type who just stand around looking pretty. They show up wielding swords of clarity and shields of no more nonsense. The Knight of Swords rides in to remind you that sometimes, protection comes in the form of seeing things, and people, for what they really are. That clarity you've been craving? It's not just coming, it's charging at you like a cosmic wake-up call. And yes, Sagittarius, it's high time to unblock your heart and make space for a new chapter, one where you're not dragging around emotional deadweight like last season's baggage. Now, let's talk about your favorite topic, freedom. We both know you love adventure, but let's be honest, even you know that a toxic love story is the fastest route to a dead-end road trip. In this chapter, stability beats drama every single time. Silence? It's not just golden, it's your secret weapon. Sometimes the loudest statement you can make is the one you don't say at all, especially when it's guarding your peace of mind. And while you might get an unexpected message or a "let's talk" text from someone you thought you left in the past, you're the one holding the remote now. You get to decide if that conversation deserves your time, or if it's just another rerun you've already outgrown. And a little Sagittarius humor tip for you: if someone pops up wanting a deep heart-to-heart, at least make sure they brought snacks. After all, if you're going to spend your precious time, you might as well get something out of it. Let's wrap this up, Sagittarius, and believe me, after years of studying human nature, star charts, and even sneaking a few lessons from Buddhist philosophy, I've learned one thing: every great journey ends with a little wisdom, and maybe a good laugh. First off, the signs playing guest roles in your current cosmic drama? We've got Cancer, Aquarius, Capricorn, Leo, Gemini, and Virgo making cameos like an all-star lineup. But before you start taking notes and plotting astrological connections like a detective in a rom-com, let me remind you, the most important sign in this entire equation is your own intuition. You know, that gut feeling you sometimes ignore until it's screaming louder than a bad reality TV host. Trust it. The stars may guide, but your intuition decides whether you walk or run. Now for the spiritual download, and this one comes straight from the cosmic hotline. Ask yourself, Sagittarius, what's really holding you back? Spoiler alert, it's probably not your boss, your ex, or your bank account. The only chains that bind are the ones we stubbornly refuse to break. You're not here to live shackled. You're one of the chosen ones, born to rise, to move, to shake things up, especially in the year of triumph 2025. And don't think for a second that your spiritual guardians, yes, Saint George, Ixu, Ogum, Archangel Michael himself, are sleeping on the job. They've got your back. But here's the deal, they can't show up for you if you're too busy hiding from yourself. The Buddha once said, you are your own master. And Sagittarius, it's about time you stepped into that role with both feet, preferably dancing. As we close this chapter, let me say it straight from the heart, like, comment, subscribe, not just because some algorithm demands it, but because we're building something real here. A tribe. A space where seekers like you find wisdom, laughs, and maybe even a bit of cosmic perspective. And don't forget to check your moon, Venus, and ascendant signs. Trust me, you'll want the full story before you make your next big move. So, Sagittarius, keep that wildfire of yours burning bright, but don't let it scorch your soul. You're stepping into your year of triumph, and this is your moment to play it bold, but also wise. Life isn't meant to be a survival game. It's meant to be lived, laughed at, and thoroughly enjoyed. You've got the map, the tools, and a pretty epic cosmic support team. Use them. And when in doubt, crack a joke, take a breath, and remember, even the freest spirit needs a place to call home. I'll see you in the next reading, Sagittarius. Until then, stay curious, stay fearless, and never forget, you've got this. And hey, Sagittarius, before we part ways, here's a little reminder from someone who's spent a lifetime decoding both the stars and the human heart. Life isn't just about the lessons, the healing, or even the triumphs. It's about living. Really living. Laugh a little louder. Love a little bolder. Take that spontaneous road trip or dance in your living room like nobody's watching, because most of the time, they're not. You've survived enough plot twists to know that this world isn't a rehearsal. This is it. And if you're going to be one of the chosen ones in this year of triumph 2025, then you owe it to yourself to enjoy the ride. The joy, the mess, the magic, it's all part of the grand adventure. Now, if you've felt even a spark of connection in today's reading, don't just click away. Hit that like button, drop a comment, share this with your fellow Sagittarius soul tribe, and subscribe to Zodiac Talks Tarot. Not because I need the numbers, but because I know we're building a space here where real seekers, free spirits, and wise hearts can come together. This isn't just a channel. It's your cosmic home base. So go on, live fully, love fearlessly, and come back anytime you need a dose of truth, humor, or a little reminder that you, Sagittarius, are exactly where you're meant to be.